Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, and with me is not Artosis. Artosis has been arrested. We're trying to use the gone money to bail him out of jail. No, actually, he's at home sick right now. We hope he gets better. With me, flying out here from Singapore, is Kelly. Thank you so much for coming out here and agreeing to help us out here at GOM TV.
It's my pleasure, and I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you so much. It's going to be a really exciting Code A. We're here in, this is Season 5. I've done so many seasons of this, I get myself thrown off. We're here at Season 5 of the Code A. GOM TV, GSL, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we got a ton of non-Korean players down here playing today. Oh, and also, before I forget, I want to mention our sponsors, G-Skill High Game Performance, RAM for your gaming computer. And we have a new sponsor, Intel. We love you guys. Almost forgot to mention that. So, what do you think about these new non-Korean players we got down here today, Kelly?
Well, a lot of them are really well-known in the community already, so it's really exciting. They have a really big fan base.
Yeah, it's just so cool to see all these new faces. GSL, of course, stands for the Global Starcraft League. Now, obviously, this is your first time down here doing the GSL, so this will be a little bit, bumpy first time we do this. I'm going to be showing you a lot of interesting stuff, like what it feels like to be cut off by the starting game screen. You'll see, you'll get to experience that firsthand. What are your thoughts on Korea so far? Now that you came out here, yesterday? Is that correct?
The day before.
Day before yesterday.
It's really cold, but the people here are really friendly.
Yeah, it's true. Except for John.
Except for John.
I don't like that guy. He's looking at me right now. But it's true. It's true. Thank you so much for coming out here, especially on such short notice. So we've also actually changed our seating here. So I'll be doing more of the analysis stuff, and Kelly is going to be doing more of the casting, play-by-play stuff. So it's going to be interesting. But it is a good feeling, I have to say, to finally have the big screen in front of me for once. This makes me feel like a big man. But enough of that. Let's pull up the brackets on screen. As you can see here today, we're going to have IMLosirA against Legal Mind, August against Loner Prime, Curious against Huck, Revival against Butterfly, Venus against Moon from Warcraft 3, Gonzi against Hapro, Coco against Ace, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Against Lena. So that's going to be pretty cool. Any matches in there that you are looking forward to seeing today?
I think I would be looking forward to Huck the most.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love that guy, by the way. Now, on to the second half of matches we're going to be having here. We have Rain against, that little screen is so small from where I'm sitting, against Yaya, Moonglade against June, Junwei against Alicia, I believe it says Nobles against Maka, Supernova against Squirtle, Alive against Suzanne, M against Rhett, and Killer against Juktu. So, it's pretty cool because the lineup we have from Code A is just so different from anything we've seen before.
Yeah,
so many foreigners.
We have 4 foreign players seated this month.
Yeah, and from all over.
Who do you want to see the most, actually, out of all the foreign players?
Actually, I think maybe Moonglade, because he's so just because he's new and stuff, at least to the GSL. Obviously, Moonglade, a very accomplished RTS gamer in general. But, he's new to the GSL, so that's going to be pretty cool. I'm also very curious to see how Moon's going to do.
Yeah.
Because, we haven't seen the Warcraft 3 guys do quite as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, this season we're going to see a lot because all the Warcraft 3 players have been preparing a lot. Moonglade was also a Warcraft 3 player.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really exciting. I think we're going to go into match soon, right?
Yeah, we're going to be starting this pretty quick here. We're going at a quicker pace than previous GSLs. So Legal Mind is already in the game. So we're just waiting for our next player to join. It's funny to me, Kelly, because we had so much hype before StarCraft 2 came out where people were basically saying, it's going to be dominated by Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Can the StarCraft players do it? And now
all the Brood War players.
All the Brood War players are basically dominating.
And a lot of players who haven't been playing Brood War or Warcraft 3 at all have also been doing really well in StarCraft 2.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the Warcraft 3 players, at least for the reputations, have probably been having the hardest time. So I really want to see Moon specifically do well because I did have not a ton of experience, but some experience commentating Warcraft 3, and that guy was my favorite player to watch play. But Interestingly enough, I guess his play style just not quite fitting for the StarCraft kind of economic-oriented gameplay.
Well, he's also known as the fifth race in Warcraft 3,
yes.
So the way he plays and micro in StarCraft.
Oh, before we even go on, I'm sorry, I guess we're actually going to get this game started. So now you're going to see, can I time out that moment where the screen is going to cut us out? Let's find it. You got to be ready at any moment in time. And no, I wasn't. But it'll happen eventually here. Our great commentators are just going to wrap it up, and we'll get this going for you guys in just a moment. Oh, take a look at those guys. I like their outfits, but I think ours are better. We had a quick delay, but we'll be getting into that soon because the game's actually started on our screen.
Well, the first map that's going to be played is Curvest, right?
Yeah, it looks like Curvest to me. So it'll be an interesting matchup. We'll get to that in a second after we got to do that player intro thing as the game starts. But I think our Korean commentators are going to wrap it up in a second here, and we'll get this going. And I have a sense it's probably going to be right now. Over here in the red, we have our Zerg player. First game here of the GSL, Code A, he is.
IMLosirA.
Okay, and going on to our other player. We have our blue Protoss. He is...
legal-minded.
All right, it's our first game here at the GSL Code A, Season 5. I have commentated a lot of StarCraft 2 games. So let's talk a little bit about our map.
Well, for Curvest, it's a new map on Code A, and this is actually the first match of the season this month. So the Natra, which is adjacent to your main, only has 1 gas and 6 mineral patches compared to the usual 8 patches and 2 gases. There's a choice of bases for the Zerg to take because the immediate Natra would mean that you invest 300 minerals early, but you would have to get a third fast to match a Protoss because Toss's unit are way more cost efficient.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Zerg, it's going to be all sheer numbers and stuff. Protoss, there's been a recent style we've seen a lot nowadays with Protoss is actually, just going for that big ball, getting a Colossus in there, stuff like that.
And the Void Ray.
And the Void Ray, especially the Colossus Void Ray. Turtling strategy we've seen quite a bit of.
Well, for this map, it would be slightly less favorite for the Zerg because their only safe fast expansion is the less rewarding one. And as you know, fast expansion is a must for Zergs.
Yeah, Zerg always wants to be at least one expansion, ideally, ahead of their opponent. Although, in StarCraft 2 thus far, it looks like because we have so many experienced StarCraft 1 players here, there's been so many tricks and techniques used to sort of make sure they don't get that expansion. And speaking of expansions, we got our Protoss taking a fast expansion right away. That makes sense on a map like this.
Yeah, the Toss normally you would do a 3-gate fast expand, which is really common nowadays, and they sit sentries on their ramp. And for this one, you actually have destructible rocks right outside your base. The Zerg is actually going for speed boost right now, and he has a fast expansion already up. You can see on the map, like I said, there's a destructible rock standing right there, and sentries would be easy to block any Zerglings run by. We might see a Phoenix's play.
Yeah, actually, Phoenixes, that's a great point. On a map that's bigger, Phoenixes tend to be a better route than getting some of these slower units we see. The build you were talking about is actually one that I do quite a bit. You basically get first sell it out, keep making sentries, 2 more sentries, get 2 more gates, I'd say, and then you make a nexus right as you're warping those gateways into warp gates, making 1 more zealot and 2 more sentries, and then what we do is we just sort of turtle with a pylon and a gateway at the entrance. But yeah, on a map like this, I mean, you might as well just go for an expansion when you have something like that in the back of your base. I think with Zerg,
you just see Steelings going in, and he's taking at the destructible rock, so the top player definitely has to get more stalkers. For this map, it's really hard to counter Phoenixes because of how large the map is. It's really hard for the Zerg to go for early Hydra because Hydras are so slow off creep.
Oh yeah, Oh, that's actually a really good point. Is this going to wall? Oh, nice deflection. Yeah, that's actually a great observation. Hydras are very slow, not on creep. In fact, if you got Hydras and you're going to engage in a battle, you better win that battle because you can't retreat. You're not going to be able to get away.
And you need so much to invest in them as well. As you can see, he's already putting down an evolution chamber. Feelings are trying to do a run by, but like I said, it's pretty much impossible because of the sentries that are going to put down force fields anyway. So we are definitely going to see a long game. That's the point of all the new GSL maps actually, because they are big and it's going to be a lot of macro, very much like Brood War style, which is looking forward a lot as a Zerg player, you would say, because then you would have more bases to expand on, unlike the older maps pre this season GSL.
Oh, really? Yeah, I think, well, I guess it depends on your style of play. You get a map that's really small and tight, you end up with a shorter game. You get a map that is big like this, it's going to be much more of a macro game. I'm curious to see if Zerg's going to be able to capitalize on a map like this as much, because it would seem to me in Protoss versus Zerg late game, and of course these maps are pretty new, so we're all still learning them. The best way for a Protoss player to control the map would probably be to take out the creep timbers everywhere, make sure that you don't have much mobility. I was actually looking forward to IMLosirA playing because he's a really unique Zerg player. He likes to use a lot of speedlings, and as you can see, he's getting +1 upgrades on his speedlings right now. It's interesting to see how he's going to do this against a Toss player, because most Zergs would actually go mostly for Roaches and Hydras against Protoss' early game. As you can see, he has like a massive Stalker army right now, and he's going to try to move out. I think this is pretty smart, but you got to be careful not to get surrounded, because if you are surrounded, it's going to be bad. You're not going to get away with those Stalkers. One good thing about the Stalkers is that they're such fast units. It actually blows my mind because they're faster than... Think about this. Think about this for a second, Kelly. They're faster than a Viking. They're faster than a Viking. Because I played my Terran. A Stalker can actually outrun something that's flying. So as long as you can get them in an angle where they're not going to be surrounded by those lings, they're going to be good.
Well,
go ahead. Sorry.
Pretty interesting. He's actually going to get a Beaming Nest down, and Beamings are mostly only useful to its sentry, but I don't see the Toss actually going for more sentries. He's taking down the back rocks of the Zerg base, and the Zerg doesn't really have a big enough army at the moment.
Yeah, I think you're actually correct about that. It looks like he's got, about 8 Roaches and a couple Lings here. Now he's trying to take out his Destructible Rocks, so he has a better entrance. He takes him out. The Spinecrawler's not exactly in the best position here. Queen gets target fire, does survive. Banelings coming up there and blinks away.
Well, you do see that he has a couple of Roaches, but it's not going to be enough. I think it's going to be really hard for him to defend right now. He doesn't have enough Spinecrawlers at the moment. He's trying to move them up front. You do see the Roaches taking away at the Stalkers, but he's blinking all the Stalkers that have lower health back behind. He's going to back up right now, actually. He doesn't have enough units at the moment, but if you can see, the Roach is going to be really aggressive in defending right now.
You know, I don't know if this was the best strategy coming here from our Protoss. I don't know if it allows you to develop properly into the later game, but we're going to see here. We're going to need to get a transfusion off, and that Spinecrawler does not. And nice blinking here. But remember, all this has to do is get a few more Spinecrawlers